Some people call it fate. Others call it luck. But imagine living through the most powerful weapon ever used in war. Twice. That's exactly what happened to Tsutomu Yamaguchi, the man who survived both atomic bombings in Japan. And let me tell you, his story is as insane as it sounds. It was August 6th, 1945. Tsutomu Yamaguchi, a 29-year-old engineer, had just spent 3 months in Hiroshima on a work trip for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. It was supposed to be his last day in the city. He was headed to the train station to return home to Nagasaki, where his wife and infant son were waiting for him. But as he was walking through the city, at exactly 8:15 a.m., he heard a deafening roar above him. He looked up, just in time to see a B-29 bomber soaring across the sky, dropping something. Seconds later, a blinding white light consumed everything. The temperature at the blast center hit over 7,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 3,900 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt steel. Buildings evaporated. Shadows of people were burned into walls. The city became a hellscape in an instant. Yamaguchi was thrown into the air like a rag doll. His body was scorched by the intense heat. The explosion ruptured his eardrums. His entire left side was burned so badly that his skin peeled off in strips. Somehow, he survived. Dazed and injured, he crawled his way to an air raid shelter and spent the night in agony, surrounded by the dying and wounded. Now, you'd think after surviving an atomic bomb, Yamaguchi would just stay put. But no. Despite his injuries, he still wanted to get home to his wife and child. The next day, August 7th, he boarded a train to Nagasaki. Yes, you heard that right. He took a train out of a nuclear wasteland. When he arrived in Nagasaki on August 8th, his family was stunned. His face was wrapped in bandages, his body was covered in burns, and he looked like he had walked out of hell itself. But he was alive. Now here's where things get completely absurd. The very next day, August 9th, he reported for work. Yes, he actually went back to work. When he walked into Mitsubishi's office in Nagasaki, his boss didn't believe him when he said a single bomb had destroyed Hiroshima. He told Yamaguchi, "That's impossible. One bomb can't destroy an entire city." And then at 11:02 a.m., it happened again. Just like before, a B-29 appeared in the sky. This time it was carrying Fat Man, the second atomic bomb. Yamaguchi was literally in the middle of explaining the Hiroshima blast to his boss when, boom, the entire city exploded. The blast knocked him off his feet, destroyed the Mitsubishi office, and once again sent him into a world of fire and destruction. Incredibly, he survived. This time he was even closer to ground zero than he had been in Hiroshima, yet he lived through both blasts. Despite being bombed twice, Tsutomu Yamaguchi didn't die from radiation poisoning like so many others. He recovered and lived on for another 65 years. After the war, he became a strong advocate for nuclear disarmament. He spoke out against war, saying, "The only people who should ever see what I saw are those who are in graves." In 2009, at the age of 93, Tsutomu Yamaguchi passed away from stomach cancer, not from radiation exposure, but from old age. Think about that. 2 atomic bombs couldn't kill this man. Call it luck. Call it fate. But Tsutomu Yamaguchi's story is one of the most insane cases of survival in history. And it's a reminder that no matter how much destruction the world throws at you, the human spirit is damn near unbreakable.